Welcome to the Arts and Oddities podcast with A.M. Hall, starring A.M. Hall. Now, here is A.M. Hall.
Welcome to Art and Oddities with A.M. Hall, where I talk about anything that strikes my fancy, to include all kinds of creative works, from children's cartoons to underground zines, to identity politics and everything in between. My guests and I will discuss how art impacts and reflects culture and counterculture, enables individualism and conformity, and have loads of fun along the way. I am your host, A.M. Hall, aka Anthony Bonafini, aka Galena Storm, aka Aquaces Mancuso. This episode, in part 1, I talk about writing fiction, or my difficulties writing fiction. So many difficulties. And then, in part 2, some emergency fashion advice helps save Mr. Teej 66 from a major wardrobe malfunction. And then I find a minute to chit-chat about his movie review channel, because priorities. All that and more ahead. So, Panic and I are formatting a novel together, Masters of the Mythic. You can get your copy at lulu.com, by the way. That's Lulu, Lulu.com. Search for Panic Bedlam and you'll find all of her books. That's Panic spelled PANIK and you'll find all of her books right there. You can also pick up a digital copy of Masters of the Mythic by searching Amazon.com. It's composed of a series of sequential short stories, in a pulp format. It's chapter 1 of one story is published in the first book, chapter 2 is published in the next book, and so on. It was originally supposed to be quarterly, but we've realized that publishing a book is a bit of a project, so as of right now, they're going to be coming out when they come out, and that's just how it's going to have to be. We've got lots of stories in plan though. Most of the second book is almost ready to go, so I hope you check it out. It's I think it's really great. It's a lot easier to read than a lot of Panic's other works. Not too poetic, as Nyx Eradicatus says in her YouTube videos. My original involvement in this project was as an editor. I edit almost all of Panic's books. I wasn't planning on writing anything for this novel, but the idea for a story came up, and right up my alley, sort of. And Panic encouraged me to actually sit down and write it. And of course I was hesitant. Writing is a skill. It's a skill that I have, but creativity isn't my strongest point. It's, it's just not. But the story seemed to, write itself, sort of, at least in my head. I originally started writing, but in the early days of the internet, back in the 90s. I wrote some fic, which back in the day we called it by its longer name, fanfic. I almost never actually posted anything because I almost never finished anything. It was that's a problem with me. I don't usually finish what I start. Right now I'm about halfway through the first chapter of the story that I wrote for Panic, and I got sort of stalled. Even though I know what has to happen in the story, sitting down to actually write the thing is what's hard. That's a problem that I tend to run into a lot. I never finish the creative works I start because I'm too afraid of success, I guess. That's a really stupid thing to be afraid of. What is my podcast all about? My podcast is all about actually going out there and making art, encouraging people to go out there and make art. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you're writing stories or painting or just taking a bunch of selfies and posting them on the internet or writing words in the bathroom stalls. It doesn't matter what it is that you are doing, as long as you are doing something, as long as you are making something to become immortal. That's what my blog is all about. That's what this podcast is all about. That is what I am encouraging everyone listening to do. And I guess I should start practicing what I preach. I need to actually do it. I need to sit down and finish writing this story. I know exactly what needs to happen in the story, but you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to go do that right now. You know what? I am going to go do that. As soon as this podcast is over, I'm going to actually sit down and write this out. Thank you for that bit of encouragement, listeners. I really appreciate that. Ugh, but it's actually almost my bedtime right now since I'm recording at night. I'll do it tomorrow. Ugh, look at me. I'm already procrastinating again. You see the problem? Like this happens. And looking back, all those fics I never finished back in the day, those were all just sort of practice, you know? And it's okay that they were practice because like I said before, writing is a skill. And there is literally no other way to hone a skill but to do the work. You have to actually physically do it. You can't just read about it. You can't just read and suddenly know how to write. You have to do it. Go forth and do it. Do the thing. Go make art. So there's that. All right. Now let's go on to the rest of the show. All right. I am here with my very first guest, Mr. Teej 66. How are you doing?
Great. How's it going? It's wonderful to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Now, Mr. Teej 66 here does movie reviews on YouTube.
That is correct.
Now, when I first invited Mr. Teej here, we were going to talk about his movie review channel, but I got sent this photograph, and we got a little distracted. So the next time I have Mr. Teej on, we're going to talk about his YouTube channel. But today we're going to talk about your clothing.
Yeah, I'm sure the photo will show up on the podcast.
I'm definitely going to add
Yeah,
this to the show
it's
notes. This is
quite
It's
comical.
pretty funny. So I'm looking at this picture, and you're wearing, your jeans, your graphic tees. That's the type of thing you normally wear. You're also wearing a Hawaiian shirt, a Star Wars tie, a newsboy cap, some sunglasses, and this weird glove. Is that a gardening glove?
I think it's a winter glove. I believe. Trying to do the Michael Jackson thing. I think.
Michael Jackson, you are not. And even if you are, don't seriously don't use a garden glove to try to be Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I just throwing things together, trying something
And
new.
you're doing this weird pose where you're like pointing towards the camera. It doesn't work.
Yeah, well, you gotta fail before you can succeed, right?
It's true. It's true. So, I'm guessing what happened here is that you decided to step up your look a little bit, and so you went to your closet and put on every accessory you owned at once.
Well, maybe not every accessory, but yes, it was a very random, just throwing things together to try to, increase viewership, and I
Hmm.
don't think it worked very
Well,
well.
if you're on YouTube, the way you look is important, but I think this is not the look you're trying to go for here. So, you're in this like wannabe gangster pose.
And for those who know me or see me, I am most definitely not a gangster.
No, you're a nerd, and you've definitely got to you've got to fly your nerd flag, if you want to get
Exactly.
viewers. So how do we step up your nerd game and still make you look better on camera?
I'll be completely honest. I'm not really a fashion kind of guy, so as evidenced by the aforementioned photo, so
Yeah.
I'm still think I need some help.
Yeah.
Help, please.
Of course, and that's why I am here to help, because fashion design is my
Yes.
thing. So, the core of your fashion sense right now is pretty much jeans and some kind of graphic tee, usually with some kind of nerd thing on the front, isn't it? Right?
Usually yes. That's
Yes. So, I'm not going to ask you to give that up. Normally, if someone is looking to step up their clothing game a little bit from t-shirts and jeans, what I would tell that person, oh, well, if you're trying to step up from t-shirts, why not move to polo shirts? A collar is a little bit more dressy than not having a collar.
I actually own several
All right,
of
well,
them.
I'm not going to tell you not to wear them. You're trying to step up your nerd game, which is a different thing than trying to step up your game in general. A collared shirt is a little bit more dressy than a non-colored shirt, and a polo shirt is usually just as comfortable as a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I could do like multiple different kinds of characters or something, or looks to really throw people off. Who knows?
I don't see why not, but at the same time, if you're trying to attract viewers, why not be more consistent with your look?
Yes, that's true too.
Also, under normal circumstances, and this isn't really relevant to your YouTube channel, but for someone who's trying to step up their game from jeans, I'd suggest, well, instead of jeans, why not wear, khaki pants or, black pants that are still kind of casual and comfortable.
That's possible.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So I'm sure we don't really see your bottom half on the YouTube channel though.
Not really too much. I mean, that could change. I may add some like little skits at the beginning.
You know what we
maybe.
do see? We do see you like standing up to check the camera on occasion.
Yes.
So
sometimes I like to jump into the camera for frames. Get a little energy to it.
So there's that. That might happen as long as you're not indecent. Then
well,
I'm
yeah,
sure
I
it will
think
be
my
fine.
I think my YouTube channel would be shut down if were that the case. So I don't want that. So.
I have seen some pretty risque videos on YouTube. Just throwing that one out there.
Well, I'm sure it'd probably like skirt the bare minimum, of what they can get away with.
That's probably not the best way to increase viewership.
Not generally, probably not.
Anyway, so but I'm not going to ask you to get rid of your graphic tees because that's the best way to, let the world know, hey, I'm a nerd and I want to, continue to be a nerd.
Exactly.
And, your movie review channel is all about a lot of nerd movies, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are some regular dramas too, but for the most part, it's nerd stuff.
Yeah, nerd stuff. So, here's the thing. Why not match your shirt to whatever it is you're reviewing?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I tried. My last video review I did, well, yeah, actually, you saw it. Yeah, I tried to, put some nerd stuff on, but I didn't think about what I was reviewing and trying to match it up there, so that's a possibility.
Yeah, so, like, if you're reviewing Star Wars, put on a Star Wars shirt. If you're reviewing Ninja Turtles, put on a Ninja Turtles shirt. I know you own these things.
Actually, I don't own a Ninja Turtle shirt. I used to.
I've seen you wear one. Have you gotten rid of it?
Yeah, I think I spilled some oh, that's right. I got some bleach on it and big bleach spot. So that.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there's another thing. Like if you're trying to step up your clothing game, don't continue to wear clothing that has been ruined.
Exactly. That's why I had to get rid of it. Although I wasn't reviewing at the time, but just was like, that stinks.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people who continue to wear things even if it's, bleach stained. It's just not.
And worse.
Well, yeah, and worse. You spill like mutagen on your shirt or something, and it's just,
No, probably not a good idea.
Those things are okay for schlubbing around, or for doing something you're gonna end up getting dirty, like painting or gardening, or if you know you're gonna get dirty, wear a certain type of garment. Don't wear your fancy dress clothes.
I was guilty of it. I actually wore the Ninja Turtle shirt for a while with the bleach stains on it. I know.
Blasphemy.
I know. I'm surprised people didn't stop me on the street and it's like, what are you wearing that for? Because apparently I'm like a valley girl now. But anyway.
Yeah, and that's like one of those basic things that everyone knows, but a lot of people continue to wear their, schlubbing around garments even when they're out and about. Anyway, no, and there are other ways to dress up your game too. I see you wearing these sunglasses in this photo. There's no need for that. You're indoors.
Well, it just look cool. I don't know, they're biker sunglasses. I actually got them from work. Someone left them behind, and my boss was just like, here. Okay,
and
sure.
And there's a hat and a glove and a Hawaiian shirt. Now, I actually don't disapprove of you wearing this Hawaiian shirt over your t-shirt.
Very tacky, but intentionally tacky.
It's not tacky. It's actually a really good look, is to wear that button front shirt, especially short-sleeved, over a t-shirt. It's not a bad look at all, especially for someone, of our caliber. And it's a great way to add some visual interest to your look while still allowing your personality to show through in the terms of the graphic. The problem with this particular picture is that you don't seem to have matched the shirt to the shirt.
Again, yes, it was just a very fly on the moment, like, let's see, what's this? Oh, this looks good. This looks good.
And you know what? It doesn't matter what looks good individually. They have to also look good together. And in those terms, I would try to match colors pretty well. If you're wearing a gray shirt with some sort of bright color on it, like a yellow or an orange, try to go with a shirt that has a similar bright color on it, like an orange or a yellow or even a red, and that would, do the trick. If you're wearing a shirt that's, got some burgundy or whatnot in it, don't try to put on a floral shirt. It's just you gotta match the colors.
I'm a fashion victim. Let's just say it. There's no question about it.
Don't worry too much about that. There's also what percentage of your garments, are suitable for what percentage of work you do. I mean, I know you work in as some kind of like a janitorial type.
Yes, I work at a janitorial job in a factory.
So most of your clothing is gonna be hard wearing, jeans.
Yeah, I mean, lately I've been trying to only wear certain things to work, but sometimes in the morning I'm just like, whatever, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. And, a lot of the time we try to wear things to be comfortable. And it's really important, if we've got physical jobs, we need to have clothing that's gonna, stand up to time and stand up to hard wear. Whereas, for our normal everyday stuff, our clothes don't have to be that hard wearing.
Yep, that's true.
So, that's actually the reason jeans were invented, was for, hard wear.
Ah, well, it makes sense. They take a pounding.
They do. But whatever percentage of time you spend at work doing physical labor, that's probably the same amount of with the percentage of your wardrobe you probably want to hold. There's also how much time you spend making your YouTube videos. What percentage of time you spend in front of the camera, that's probably the percentage of clothing you want to own. If you spend 20% of your time in front of the camera, you probably want to have 20% camera-worthy clothing.
And I'm probably going to be stepping it up. I'm going to start trying to record 2 videos a week now instead of just one.
Fantastic.
Flooding the market a little more.
One of those videos could be me helping you out, going shopping at the Salvation Army or something.
This is very true. This could be a very funny video.
Keep an eye open for me to appear at Mr. Teej 66's YouTube channel.
Indeed.
You'll get to see my pretty face, if I'm having a good hair day.
Well, I'm sure you will be.
And, how often do you go out? Do you go out and have a drink every once in a while?
Not too much, but once in a while.
Once in a while, yeah. You and I actually went out to O-Fest at one point.
Yes, with our friends Nix and Evie.
Yes, Nix and Evie. You had a video with the two of them at one point, didn't
you? I did. We reviewed Alien. 26 minutes. It was epic for me, anyway.
Yeah, it was a pretty long video, wasn't it? I've only seen it the one time. I wasn't there for that day, but we did go out to O-Fest. I think Nix actually has a video of the 4 of us and at least a few other people together.
I believe she does. Yes,
So we do go out occasionally, but not very often.
No.
So you probably want to have a few things to wear that are a little bit dressier, just for going out occasions, or if you want to go have a drink at some point. Which,
Yeah, as I said, I'm not really a big fashion kind of guy, but maybe that has to change in order to step up my game and, get some more viewers,
So, fashion is not really about who you are, so much as letting people know, this is how I want to be treated. And it's scientifically proven, and it's, I disagree with the fact that this is morally just, but people who take better care of themselves, people who dress better, tend to be treated better by people who are in service positions, people like salespeople, by staff, front staff at hotels, places like that. So it really does affect the way you're treated in general.
Yeah, although it's not good to dress, in my opinion. If you aren't that person, I'm not gonna
again
in a suit or tie or anything.
Well, no, that's because that's not who you are. But like I said, I'm not gonna try to change who you are. I want to step up who you are. And I'm not gonna take away your graphic T-shirts, even though I can't stand those things. But they're part of who you are. And I'm not going to try to take those away from you. But I am going to try to, say, look, throw another shirt on top, make sure it kind of goes with the shirt that you're wearing. Put on a collared shirt if you really want to step it up.
Well, I need all the help I can get right now, apparently, according to that photo.
Yeah, it's a pretty epic photo.
Oh, God. It goes viral or something like that. Be like, who is this guy?
There's no way this photo is going to go viral. Anyway.
You never know.
All right, so we've been talking for about 15 minutes now. Is there anything further you want to
my YouTube channel? Mr. Teej 66. It's MRTEEJ 66. And I'm still getting used to, reviewing movies, so I'm not 100% perfect. But, I think I have a lot of enthusiasm, so.
You sure do.
So, yeah, definitely go check me out.
All right. Well, we'll make sure to put a link in the show notes, so be sure to check that out. And we'll have you back soon to actually talk about your YouTube channel. So please stay tuned while we wrap up the show. Thanks for listening to the Art and Oddities podcast with A.M. Hall. That's our show for today. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and give us a review on iTunes. Or if you're listening via YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Facebook. Join our group at facebook.com/groups/oddartpodcast, all one word. Or on Twitter at twitter.com/artodditiespod, one word. The production and editing of this podcast has been provided by Reverend Panic Evlan Bedlam, and without her it would not exist. If you'd like to support this podcast, please become a patron at patreon.com/panicbedlam. That's PANIKBEDLAM. As we produce more shows, we will be putting more content on Patreon exclusively for patrons. You can also help Panic by buying her books or tarot cards. You can find them by searching Panic Bedlam on Lulu.com and TheGameCrafter.com. Direct updates and show notes are available at panicbedlam.com/podcast. We are currently having a conflict with our web domain, so if that link doesn't take you there, try the slightly longer sites.google.com/site/panicbedlam/podcast. We hope to have this worked out shortly. Today's guest, Mr. Teej 66, can be found at youtube.com/user/MRTEEJ66. We also mentioned Nyx Eradicatus. She is also on YouTube. That's NIX space ERADICATUS. Nyx Eradicatus. Our theme music, Doxal Dance in Spacetime, or Belial and His Seven Wives, was composed and performed by Kion Huru Orion, or as I know him, Michael. Thanks, Michael. If you would like to contact the show with comments or suggestions, you can email us at artodditiespodcast@gmail.com. Next week, I talk about prepping for making an art film, which seems to have a lot to do with making a magical bathrobe. And I have Mr. Teej 66 back, and we do some serious nerding out over our favorite films. Don't miss it. That about wraps it up. Remember, the highest form of magic is doing, and expressing yourself is art. This is A.M. Hall, signing off.